Hi guys, this is just a very quick video on how I plan, track and record my bonus for the end of the month. So the tasks that I complete, and I'm going to be following this up with how I go about filling up my bonus submission, but that'll be in another video. So first of all, in terms of planning my week and my month, I do this one of two ways. So the first thing I do is I will use my calendar. Now this is a repeating calendar. It will go through month to month, and every single task that I need throughout the week is planned in here, along with my monthly things such as submitting bonus and making sure obviously any meetings and things are in here. So just to take an example, so today is the 26th. So today I've got a live observation, I've got to do Samsung Backstage, and I need to do a post on Twitter for Priority Moments. So today's quite a quiet day. My two busy days tend to be the Monday and the Saturday. So Monday, obviously starting the week, I'll send my weekly email out, I'll send any plans, anything like that I have with community, and then I'll also do lots of Twitter posts and event advertising. And at the end of the week on the Saturday, I'll sort of be closing things off, so submitting my bonus for my training and doing my community submissions as well. I tend to just stick with this plan once a month, and it makes it easy to just make sure I do everything I need to do. So for myself, I target myself with having a training session, 2 speed coachings, 2 live observations, 2 sort of individual coaching sessions or reviews with the staff, and then I'll also want to make sure in that week that I've done my social media posts. So I do a quick poll asking people their opinions on things. I'll do 2 Priority Moments posts, I'll do 2 tech video posts, and then I'll do 2 fun fact posts, which just keep my social media fresh and interesting to read. So in terms of actually planning out my month, this is linked obviously through Google Calendar, so my phone will beep at each point. Everything's in for the same time each day, so I know if I've got a con call, if I have to clock in, if I have a speed coaching coming up. And then what I will do from this is day by day. So today I've got live observation, I've got Backstage and Twitter. I will then go to my desktop and I use the stickies, and I find this really easy, so I can say I've got my Priority Moments Twitter post, and I've also got a live ops to do today. So now I will go and complete those jobs, and then once I've done, I will delete them off, which is nice and easy. It's always in the bottom right of my screen, it's in front of me, I'm not going to forget it. And it's just really easy to keep track of things and make sure day by day my tasks are completed. Obviously if you have any overlap from the day previous, you can just leave it on that list and you can just work through that first, and make sure you're not going to have anything at the end of the week you're sort of stuck with. So in terms of actually tracking my bonus, then I have one folder which is my work folder. Now this actually links up to Google Drive and it synchronizes constantly, so as I complete work and drop it into these folders, it will also get uploaded to Google Drive, which is then linked to my phone and my tablet, so it's really easy and quick to get access to things. If I have Danny or I have Dean visit the store, I can quickly show them what we've been doing from my phone without having to go in the back, grab my laptop, turn it on, wait for it to load. It's just a real pain in the backside to do that. So from here I've got a few folders. So resources is just things that you might find useful, so PNGs like graphics and bits and pieces that I might use in videos. There's things that could just save you having to look on Google for it again. And any forms, certificates you've made, video bits that you might use. I just find it's really easy to have one box of things that I might need in the future. And then track my pay slips, which is always important. You need to know when you get paid and things. And then have my archive, which is essentially a folder, a file of all the work I've done, so all my trainings, all my speed coachings, incentives I've run, any important contacts, and everything is organised monthly. So I can go back and you could ask me, 2018 January, what training did you do? I could actually go and find it for you. It's just handy to have it, and eventually I will obviously delete it when it becomes less relevant, but right now it's only a small folder, so it doesn't take too much space. But the most important one is my bonus folder, which I split into 2. So split here is submissions, which is obviously your documents that you put through once each month. So like September's, for example, I can just quickly open it up and I can read my entire document. it's just really easy to make sure that I complete that each month and it's logged and I've got it there if I need to edit it or there's some work that I needed to improve. I know obviously Barry will give us lots of feedback, as will Ed and Sophia, so it's nice to make sure you've got it there. When you're filling out your next form, you can refer back to it. And then what I do in terms of actually screenshotting and evidence is all in social media posts. I could probably rename it, but it just makes sense to me that. So this year, and I'll have a look at say September because it's quite a big month for me. So I have multiple folders here. So for social media, I track my analytics. 3 times a month I will screenshot it. So I have the beginning, middle, and end of my month. And that can go against my quarterly bonus when it comes to it. So I can obviously track and say these were my goals, this is how I've looked at my social media, these are the targets I want to set for next month. So the next folder is appointments. I screenshot this just to make sure that I do have the right number each week, because I know that sometimes it doesn't track it properly. I think everyone's getting better at making sure to log them as walk-ins rather than adding it straight into the date and time. But this way I make sure I've got the times I did my appointments and then at the end how many appointments I did in that time frame, because there's obviously 2 parts to the day which you can capture off Salesforce. And then I also screenshot my live ops, so this way I can evidence when they were done. I just want to make sure if I'm going to be doing the work, it is evidenced properly. There's no real arguments with it. Following that, I've got my area research, so this is when I'm doing my community research. I'm looking for places. So this month I've done screenshots on what I found on Eventbrite and then what was on the local Salford Quays website as well. That goes hand in hand with your community work, but it's just good to show on your document that you have been looking for things outside your area as well. Next folder is best practice, so this tends to be once a month thing. I'll submit something for the team to benefit from, so in this instance it's usually on the con call, so I'll summarise what we talked about. So in this one it was tracking coaching, what we talked about, ideas that we discussed. It's just a quick post so everyone could summarise it and anyone who missed the con call is able to still benefit from it. It's a really easy one to make sure you've done. One screenshot and I think it earns £25, so it's a total no-brainer to do it. Moving on from that is my community work. So this is a jumble of contacts with any people I want to get involved with. So this was asking about what I'm able to do at a networking event, just making sure I could take leaflets and whatnot. But then I'll also screenshot what my plans were, what my ROI was. This is just a screenshot of the document everyone will fill out once a month. And it just makes if I've already filled out one form, I might as well use it as evidence as well. I will then also show emails that have been to people who are outside the local area. So this was with somebody who they work with a homeless charity. I was going for a visit with them, so this was just my back and forth between them and myself, making sure that I actually can go. And the final thing I put in here as well is my actual Twitter posts and social media stuff. So here you can see I was at the Spaces Landing Business Networking Breakfast, and it's just my advertising for it. So what would be at least 2 weeks prior, a week prior, a couple of days before, the day before, and then on the day, and then posts following that for my social media. So here I've got pictures that I took, so what I did, and just creates a visual for what any followers you have. And I find that this kind of ticks several boxes just having this here. And the community stuff is generally quite easy to track. It's just your social media mainly. I do have a feedback folder for my community work as well, but I find it very difficult to get feedback. For me, this month I didn't actually get any. So obviously my quarterly bonus it would tend to affect me there. But it's something you knowing your weaknesses, and for me having an empty folder says I need to focus on this more. So feedback's a big one for me in the next quarter. Coming out of that, I've got my information folder. Now this folder is a collection of different things that I put on my social media. So the first lot of stuff is like fun facts. So it might just be random facts about something tech, and I'll try and relate it to O2 in some way and make it into sort of like draw people into the store. I then do any priority moments post. So in this instance you could get a JBL flip, and I will also then do polls, which are like asking people's opinion, trying to get some interaction on my social media, so it's not just me posting, it's people actually responding to what I put up and giving their own opinions and trying to get more buy-in. And the final thing I'll do are like tech videos, so screenshots and clips that I find on YouTube that might be interesting. So this will be like the iPhone 11 or the $4 iPhone, or Android smartphone, sorry. Yeah, so these things, like I said, I do target myself on my social media posts, and if I can see I've got quite a full folder, throughout the month I've got 30 items here. It's a decent amount, if it was only about 10-15, I know it's an area I need to keep working on. My management folder, for me, I do 2 things in here. So I have my meeting notes, so this is the start of the month, what we planned. I then have my monthly email, which is a big summary of everything. So in here it has stuff for my calendar, my targets for my appointments, live ops and social media, stuff like that. What my training plans are, my live observation plans, my speed coaching plans, my showcasing plans, and then my social media plans. And at the bottom I have what I'm doing for community as well. And that's a full month's worth of planning. I can then fill in my guru board based off what training I'm doing, what coaching I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be in the community. And it's just a really good seed to sort of grow my month from. And then from that, each week I will update it. And a weekly one will just be a summary of what's going to be done that week. So, it's regular interaction with my managers. One email can summarize everything. And it's just, 5 screenshots for a whole month's worth of planning and management. It's just a really quick, easy way to do so. I then have my manufacturer folder. So this is generally any interactions I've had with my manufacturers. So here I have Kate for Tech 21. I'll have a follow-up text, and I'll also have the initial text, just to make sure, I'm not just messaging them once and that's that. I want to make sure I'm building a relationship with them. So in terms of speed coaching, I screenshot 2 things. So once a month, I have a document I complete with each advisor, which will summarize what the training's been like, what they think of it, what they've enjoyed. And I'll have a snap test, which tests them on the things we've been covering that month. I then get them to rate what they believe their knowledge and strengths are in regards to each manufacturer or accessory. And then I have actions. So what actions do we carry over from last month, what we're going to work on moving forward, and what's the conclusion. So what are my commitments to them, what are their commitments to me, and then we review this and judge the success based on how the next month goes. But it's really good to help give me the why for my planning and making sure, I'm not just doing things, there's actually a thought process behind it, and this way I'm evidencing that as well. And then following up with that, it's just my screenshots of social media posts. So what I have done throughout the month, obviously WhatsApp, Twitter, Workplace, and it's just a quick, easy way to make sure you're showing that you did the work alongside the planning of it. Last few folders now, so my time management, really easy one. 3 things I do. So do a picture of my guru board, so this is what's visible to everybody in the store. I then have a screenshot of my month, which is shared with my managers, so you can see all my daily tasks, making sure they're all ticked off. And then I have a kind of an overview of what I'm likely to be doing that week. And that's kind of my plan for the week as a rough draft. It might be useful for you guys to follow something similar, because everything that we do in the day is tracked on that. And then this is just printed out onto the guru board, and the advisors can see this if they did want to know what days am I going to be busy. Obviously Monday and Saturday are my busiest days. And yeah, that's time management, really easy one to kind of box off. Final one being training. This is just screenshots of the training I've done and the social media posts for each. So I've got my Twitter, WhatsApp and Workplace posts, and it just shows what I've done rather than how, because the how is evidenced through my weekly email. But yeah, I will be following this video up because it's getting quite long, with the actual training document and how I would juxtapose this stuff with it. But hopefully you guys find this useful, because I know with tracking and planning your bonus can be a real kind of obstacle, especially now when you're going to be looking at planning for a quarter as opposed to a week or a month. It requires a lot more sort of nitpicking and tracking, but I found this works really well for me. I wouldn't say I'm 100% perfect, but I get a decent bonus each month, and at the start of last year I was not even getting £5 bonus, so it's something that certainly helped myself get to where I am now. But otherwise, thanks for watching guys, and I look forward to any feedback you give me.